Welcome back to the Ghosty Girls podcast. I'm Alicia.
You kind of sounded like Nosferatu a little bit.
You're welcome.
Did you watch the new Nosferatu yet?
I don't have time to watch anything.
What the hell is wrong with you? I love the new Nosferatu.
I would love it, but I don't have
Nosferatu.
You nailed that.
I tried. It wasn't that great.
I loved it. It was amazing.
But yeah, welcome back. I'm Christina.
I'm Alicia. Hi.
We're at part 4 of John Wayne Gacy. This is the last one. Are you guys so excited?
Can I sing an amen?
Yeah, sure.
Amen. I'm just kidding. Okay, let's go. Let's do this.
This is going to be a long one. I definitely could have split this up into 2 parts and made this a 5-parter. But I'm not going to do that to myself nor to any of you because I'm fucking tired. I'm real tired of John Wayne Gacy.
Thank you. Actually,
I'm over it.
I want to give you a big thank you for not having that book stare at me this week. Thank you, because that was a nightmare. Don't do it.
No, I'm not. Speaking of books, shout out to my main source. It's called Inside the Mind of John Wayne Gacy, the Real Life Killer Clown by Brad Hunter. This was a really good source.
Was it a good book, though?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a pretty good book. I mean, there's some parts where I was like, meh, we could have done without this, but, you know, that's any book about serial killers. But yeah, I got a lot of information from here. Obviously, let's see, when was this book? First published in 2022. So this is actually pretty recent. I did look at some older books, and obviously, like, there was a lot of information that wasn't included because, you know, as the years go on, you find out more, and also some of his unidentified victims have been identified pretty recently, but we'll talk about that later on.
I was getting ready to go, oh, who? I don't want to ruin it, though. Never mind.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that later on. So just to recap, part 3 last week, we talked about all of Gacy's murders up until the point that he met his very last victim, who was 15-year-old Robert Piest. And Robert Piest was employed at Nissan Pharmacy as a stock boy. So on December 11th, 1977, John Wayne Gacy walked into the Nissan Pharmacy to discuss renovations that his company, PDM Contractors, was set to begin. So Robert apparently overheard Gacy discussing the work and PDM Contractors and, you know, how he employs younger men and boys. Mm-hmm. Overhears Gacy talking about this with the owner of Nissan Pharmacy, who's Robert's boss. And as many young boys in the past, he became interested in working for Gacy, who paid much better than the Nissan Pharmacy did. And apparently, like, Robert was trying to save up for a car and stuff. Like, he's 15, you know, right. He's trying to make money. And John Wayne Gacy was paying almost double what he was making at Nissan Pharmacy. So this seemed like a great opportunity for him, obviously. After Robert's shift ended, his mother came to pick him up, but Robert asked if she could stay and wait for him because he wanted to talk to a contractor about a potential summer job that he was very excited about. Robert's mother agreed, and she sat and waited and waited and waited for her son to come back. He never did.
Yeah. I hate that.
Never came back. And she was worried because this was very unlike him. Like, Robbie, they called him Robbie, was a good kid. He was an honor student. He was responsible. And most of all, he loved his mom. They had a really good relationship. And he would never just leave his mother on the night of her birthday. And this is like this is the saddest part of this whole thing, is that December 11th, the night that Robbie was taken and killed by John Wayne Gacy, that was his mother's birthday, and there was a cake waiting for her at home for the family to celebrate when her and Robbie got home.
Stop.
So just sit and imagine for a second your child being murdered on your fucking birthday. That's awful.
No, I could never celebrate again.
No. So when Robbie doesn't come back to the Nissan Pharmacy, his parents immediately file a missing persons report. And after speaking with the owner of the Nissan Pharmacy and finding out that the contractor that Robbie went to talk to was John Wayne Gacy, Gacy was now a person of interest. And since Robbie was a good-looking all-American boy who was a great student and a quote-unquote star athlete, the police actually paid attention this time. Enter Des Plaines Police Lieutenant Joseph Kozenzak. And Lieutenant Kozenzak actually had a personal tie to this missing persons case because his son went to the same high school as Robbie, and he knew Robbie was not your typical juvenile delinquent runaway. Lieutenant Kozenzak, after learning that Robbie was last seen with John Wayne Gacy, decides to run a background check. And of course, Gacy's prior prison stint in Iowa immediately pops up. So now you have a man who had been in prison for the sodomy of a boy, who was also the last person to be seen with another boy who is now missing. Not a good look.
Nope.
Not a good look at all. And not only that, but his record in Chicago popped up as well, which included all those other charges on young boys that he had gotten away with. So they were immediately like, this doesn't look good. So the next day, December 12th, 1977, Lieutenant Kozenzak and Detective Jim Pickle. Isn't that a fun name, Detective Pickle?
Aww.
I love that.
Hello, I'm Detective Pickle. How could anyone take him serious, though?
I don't know. It reminds me of that show on Adult Swim, Mr. Pickles, like with the demon dog.
That creeped me out.
That show's great, though.
I love Adult
Mr.
Swim.
Pickles, yeah.
That one I still watched it.
Oh, yeah, of course. Why wouldn't you? So Lieutenant Kozenzak and Detective Pickle go out to 8213 West Somerdale Avenue to pay Gacy a little visit. And based on Gacy's criminal past, these guys fully expected that Robbie was going to be found in the home alive. Like, they thought that he was probably tied up and being abused. They never even considered the possibility that they would find a dead body in the home. So they knock on the door. Gacy answers, and they immediately start questioning Gacy about Robert Piest and telling him that they knew that he was the last person to have been seen speaking with Robbie. Gacy neither confirms nor denies this, but does completely deny speaking to anyone about a job. The officers then ask Gacy if he would be willing to come down to the station for further questioning, and Gacy tells them that he would, but that it wouldn't be until later that night because his uncle had just died. And the officers kind of pressed him a little bit, like, hey, this is a missing person. Like, this is kind of important. You were last seen talking to him. Like, the fuck? And
he was like, nah, bruh.
Yeah, you kind of need to get your ass down to the station for questioning. I mean, you know.
Like, it's not really a choice, sir.
Yeah. So Gacy looks them dead in the face and says verbatim, "Don't you have any respect for the dead?" Which is a bold fucking statement coming from a man who has like 30 plus bodies buried underneath his home in a fucking crawl space.
And who also looks like a potato.
Yeah.
/ rotisserie chicken.
Don't you have any respect for the dead? Sir, disrespectfully, you have an entire fucking cemetery underneath your house. Gacy then has the fucking audacity to say to the officers, "I know this kid is missing, but that's not important to me."
That's fucked up.
The officers were like, well, it's important to his mother that he's missing. But Gacy is insistent that he's busy. He has shit to do. So he will come to the police station on his time. So the officers leave, which...
that blows my mind.
I know. So, yeah, they leave. They take Gacy at his word that he would come by the police station that night when he had time. But the officers knew that something was up with this guy. This is not normal behavior to be seen talking to a missing child and then be like, I have stuff that I have to do. This isn't important to me. I'll come by later. So officers, they immediately were like, we got to keep an eye on this guy, which is a good thing. So this is when the surveillance on Gacy actually like unofficially starts. But even though the officers knew that something was not right, what they did not know was that as they stood on the doorstep talking to John Wayne Gacy, the lifeless body of Robert Piest was hiding in the attic of the home, which is so fucking creepy to think about.
It was literally right above them.
Yes. Yep.
Fucked up.
John later stated that he drove Robbie to his home under the guise of discussing a summer job and then got him with the handcuff trick that we talked about in the last episode. And he then strangled Robbie to death before placing his body in the attic. So, understandably, John was a little rattled at this point. He's got 2 police officers questioning him at his door about a missing boy while this missing boy is lying dead in his attic. Not good for John Wayne Gacy. Now, as I said a little bit ago, they placed surveillance on John pretty much immediately, but they tried to be conspicuous about it by having the detectives sit in their cars up the street because they didn't really want him knowing that they were watching him.
Makes sense.
This turned out to not be such a great idea because very shortly after Gacy talked to the officers at his home, John's car took off down the road like a bat out of hell, and the detectives completely lost sight of him. Had they been able to follow him and stop him, they would have found the body of Robert Piest in his trunk.
They're so close.
Mm-hmm. As we talked about in the last episode, John had completely run out of space to bury his victims in his crawlspace. He had buried so many bodies there that there was literally no room for not even one more. So Gacy loaded up the body of Robert Piest in his trunk, sped away from police, and was able to drive to a spot off of Interstate 55 where he dumped the body in the Des Plaines River. But the day was not yet over for John Wayne Gacy because at 3:20 a.m. he rolls up to the police station absolutely covered in mud, which isn't suspicious at all, right?
No.
So he's like, yeah, I'm here to talk to Lieutenant Kozenzak. And the officers on duty are like, my dude, it's 3 a.m. in the motherfucking morning. Like, he's not here.
He's sleeping. Thank you.
Yeah. Also, why the fuck are both your person and your car absolutely covered in mud?
Did they ask him that, I hope?
Yes. And John was like, oh yeah, I got into a car accident. No big deal or anything, you know? Makes sense. Gacy,
no big deal.
Yeah. Gacy then leaves the police station and goes home. He does, however, come back to the police station later that day at a reasonable hour to do an interview with investigators. During the interview, Gacy completely denied talking to Robert Piest about a job, but he did lie to investigators about going back to the pharmacy after the store owner called him about leaving his appointment book there. Investigators spoke with the owner of the store, Phil Torf, who denied ever even speaking with Gacy on the phone, let alone calling him to tell him that his appointment book was still there. So this raised a red flag. Like, why would you lie about a detail like that if you have nothing to hide? It's such a little detail to lie about.
Just one red flag?
Yeah, right. So they have John do a handwritten statement about the events of what happened on December 11th, according to him, and he is then free to leave. Investigators kept digging into Gacy, and they started to find some suspicious deaths and missing persons related to John and his company, PDM Contractors. Specifically, the disappearance of John Budkovich, who was the one we talked about in episode 1. He was the one whose car was found with the keys in the ignition and the wallet and the money in the car. There was also another missing boy tied to John, Gregory Godzik. And yet another boy whom had worked for PDM Contractors, Charles Hatula, whose body had been found floating in a river earlier that year. So now you've got 3 missing boys and also a suspicious death tied to John Wayne Gacy.
Good.
The math ain't mathin'. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I've never even personally known one missing person in my life, let alone fucking 3.
Right.
Right?
And then a mysterious or suspicious death also tied.
Correct.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
But that's not it. But wait, there's more.
Yeah, there's definitely more. So this gives investigators more than enough probable cause to search Gacy's home on West Somerdale Avenue. They obtain a search warrant and they go in. And what they find in the home is pretty disturbing. And now I'm going to take you through an inventory of items that were confiscated from John Wayne Gacy's home.
Yay, I can't wait.
a pistol, which isn't really that shocking, but still, a syringe and a hypodermic needle, bottles of Valium and amyl nitrate, which I looked that up and it's got a couple different uses. One of them was for like studying your heartbeat if you have high blood pressure.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's anything. Yeah, I don't know. They found handcuffs, several fake police badges, tons of stag films. No surprise there.
Gross.
Pornographic books about homosexuality and sex with children, including the books Pretty Boys Must Die and The Great White Swallow. And I'm going to go ahead and surmise that that's not a book about birds.
I was going to ask, but I didn't want to know.
The Great White Swallow.
What?
That is so fucking gross.
I'm going to write a book called The Great White Spitter. No, too much?
That's way too much. Okay. We're talking about John Wayne Gacy here. Let's keep it clean.
Fair. Not talking about swallowing and spitting.
They also found multiple driver's licenses belonging to people other than John Wayne Gacy. Small pairs of boys' underwear that were clearly not John's size because John was robust.
He's curvy like a chicken.
Yeah, to put it kindly. They found a class ring with the initials JAS. They found a photo receipt from Nissan Pharmacy, which was found in a trash can. And remember this item because we'll talk about that in a little bit. Also remember that they found a blue parka in John's home because that becomes important later. They found nylon rope. They found a board with holes drilled into each end. And my personal favorite, an 18-inch dildo. Just to put that into perspective, the length of an average adult forearm is 18 inches. Y'all can't see this, but I'm holding up my forearm. We're talking a dildo this long.
Oh.
If that doesn't make your insides hurt, you're not alive.
You're 12 foot tall.
18 inches.
So I heard a funny dad joke the other day.
Oh, for fuck's sake. What?
Your dick might not be 12 inches, but it smells like a foot.
Oh my God.
Sorry, I thought that was funny. The end.
18 inches.
I can't.
That's
over
straight up.
Like, I can't.
That's a torture device. I'm sorry. 18 inches. So yeah, they found some pretty questionable things in the home. But what they did not find was the body of Robert Piest. And that's what they were looking for. So they keep Gacy under surveillance, but they can't arrest him because, like, you can't arrest someone for having weird shit in your house. You know, you can't arrest someone for having an 18-inch dildo in their house. You know, although you probably should be able to, you fucking can't. It's just the way the law works. Okay?
Was it double-sided?
I don't think so, but I don't fucking know.
I can't.
I didn't go that deep into it. Pun intended. Yeah. Gacy fully knew that he was under surveillance. At this point, they were not hiding this from him. They followed him everywhere. And a lot of times they lost him because John was known for driving super fast and also very erratically. Now, you're probably wondering why they didn't, at the very least, give him a citation for speeding and driving like a fucking asshole. But investigators didn't want to do anything that would fuck up their investigation. Like, they were trying to build a case against him. And, you know, they knew he was their guy. They just needed that smoking gun, so to speak. John's behavior started to become increasingly erratic as the days went on. He began kind of taunting police by, again, driving erratically, speeding, running red lights, just being a general dickhead. John also started to look real rough, or rougher than he already did, because let's face it, John wasn't much of a looker, if you know what I'm saying.
I was going to say, started to.
Yeah, and I'm allowed to say that because John Wayne Gacy is trash, so
literally
nothing is off limits, all right? Like, he wasn't shaving anymore. He was looking disheveled. He was drinking heavily. He was like
still shaped like a chicken.
Yeah, he was taking drugs. He was taking pills. Like, he was on it. He was on it. And probably the most erratic and also dumb thing that he did during this time was hire a lawyer, Sam Amirante, to file an almost $800,000 lawsuit against the Des Plaines Police Department for harassment.
Okay.
This guy had a cemetery in his crawl space, and he had the fucking audacity to file a lawsuit for harassment against the police department. And then John does something else that is pretty shocking, but also actually pretty on par for his personality. He started befriending the police officers that were surveilling him. Because remember, he's a big schmoozer. Like, this is the guy that would randomly drop buckets of KFC off at the police station. Like, he's so used to bullshitting his way through literally everything that he really thought he could get out of this as well.
And he's got political ties.
Yeah. So Gacy starts taking these guys out for dinner and drinks and hanging out and bullshitting with them. It was at one of these dinners that John Wayne Gacy looked investigators dead in the face and made the famous quote that clowns can get away with murder. He actually said that to the investigators who were investigating him
for murder.
Yeah. The fuck? I firmly believe that John Wayne Gacy was so fucking delusional that he actually thought that they were all becoming friends.
100%.
I think he was so fucking far gone that he was like, yeah, this is working.
They're my BFFs.
Yeah.
I'm going to keep murdering people.
And he thought that they were friends, so much so that he actually invited investigators back to his house to hang out and shoot the shit.
Stop.
And this is where stuff gets real crazy because
it hasn't been crazy enough.
Well, the officers are hanging out in John Wayne Gacy's home, and one of them went to use the bathroom. And when he went to flush the toilet, the furnace kicked on. And when it did, a stench emitted from the vents that a seasoned police officer would immediately recognize as being the scent of decomp.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, he later actually described the smell as being in the county morgue.
Yeah. The morgue smell that bad? I guess if you have a body that they found that has been out for a long time.
Yeah.
Oh, geez Louise.
Meanwhile, the investigation was still plugging along. Investigators were speaking with other boys who were employed at PDM contractors who stated that John had tried to rape them at some point. Also, they impounded his car, and a police dog made a cadaver hit in the car.
Okay.
Most damning was the blue parka that was found in the home that had belonged to Robert Piest, and the Nissan photo receipt that was found in the trash can was traced back to another employee, Kim Byers, who had worked with Robbie that night, borrowed his coat, and without thinking had placed her photo receipt, because remember back in the day you used to get a receipt for developing your photos. So she didn't think about it. She just put her receipt in the pocket, and then he asked for his coat back when he went outside to go talk with John Wayne Gacy. She gives him the coat back. The receipt's still in the pocket. So that directly ties Robert Piest to John Wayne Gacy's house. He was absolutely in that fucking house. They knew it at that point. And it was all traced back to December 11th. By this point, the pressure was really starting to get to John. And on the night of December 20th, 1978, just 9 days after the disappearance of Robert Piest, Gacy shows up at the law offices of his attorney, Sam Amirante. Gacy asks for a drink. Sam Amirante pours him a whiskey. John slams it down and then proceeds to confess to everything. He tells his attorney about the murder of Robert Piest. There's like a newspaper sitting on the table with Robert Piest's picture on it, and he like points at it and he's like, "This boy's dead." Yeah.
Ew.
He tells his attorney about all the tricks that he uses, about waking up to dead boys in his home, and he tells his attorney that he buried the bodies in his crawl space because after he killed them, he believed that they were his property.
The look I'm giving you right now.
I know.
I can't.
After confessing in the office for hours, John passes out after drinking pretty much an entire bottle of whiskey by himself.
Gross.
And his attorney is like, what in the actual fuck?
What just happened?
Now, there's this thing called attorney-client privilege. I'm sure you all have heard of that.
Mm-hmm.
So Sam Amarante, he's got a real moral and also an ethical dilemma on his hands. Like, what? I work for attorneys. Like, I can't even imagine this shit. What the fuck do you even do at this point?
I mean, you gotta tell. It's kids.
It's attorney-client privilege. You can be disbarred. You can literally be disbarred for that.
If I was...
I see it from both sides.
I know.
But you have an ethical obligation. I know that sounds fucking horrible.
Ugh. I have an ethical obligation to those kids' families. Disbar me. I will work at McDonald's. But...
I mean, it could fuck up the whole case, too.
Yeah, that's true. Damn it.
I know.
Fucking...
He was in a real tough spot. I don't feel for him. I don't. So, Sam Amarante, he does what he could do. He gets on the phone and he schedules a psych evaluation because clearly his client is unwell mentally. After he does this, Gacy wakes up out of his drunken stupor and immediately is like, fuck, I shouldn't have said anything. Like, he realizes that he done fucked up. Also, he's like, I'm really important and I have business to take care of, so I'm leaving. Okay, I'm busy. And he
I don't
leaves.
mean to laugh. But...
Sam Amarante later stated in interviews that he did try to stop Gacy from leaving and also ran outside to tell the officers that were surveilling him to shoot his tires out. He was like, don't let him go. I can't tell you why, but don't let him fucking go. So, like, he kind of did what
he could.
He did.
That's fair.
They didn't shoot his tires out because they didn't have any reason to. He didn't tell them that he killed anybody, that he just sat there and confessed all fucking night. So Gacy speeds away. He then goes to a gas station to get gas because I guess he was on E. You know, it's just business as usual for him. And he gives the gas station attendant a bag of marijuana and says, the end is coming for me.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. He then drove to a friend's house and told his friend, quote, and this is so disturbing, I've been a bad boy. I killed 30 people, give or take a few. He then met with a few of his employees and confessed to them as well.
He was on a roll then.
Yeah. He then drove to Maryhill Cemetery, clutching a rosary to his face while he drove, and then sat and cried at his father's grave. Officers who were getting worried at this point that John may try to commit suicide decided that the only thing they could really do at this point was charge him with possession of marijuana from the little baggie that he had given the gas station attendant. So they charged him with possession of marijuana and they arrested him. That's all they could really do at this point. Later that day, on December 21st, 1978, a judge signed off on a second search warrant for 8213 West Somerdale Avenue. And this time, they got what they needed as they entered the crawl space and dug up body after body after body. 27 to be exact. Damn. 27 bodies were buried in his crawl space.
In his home.
Mm-hmm.
I can't.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Back at the police station, detectives broke the news to John that they had found a literal fucking graveyard on his property and that he was going to be charged with murder. John then decided to sit down with detectives as well as his attorney and confessed. In his confession, John stated that he had 4 personalities. Okay. There were 3 Johns: John the clown, John the contractor, and John the politician. His 4th personality was a man named Jack Hanley, and it was Jack, not John, who was responsible for murdering around 30 people.
Where the fuck was Pogo?
That was John's personality number 1, the clown.
Oh, so it's not John.
Pogo didn't do it. John didn't do it.
Right.
It was Jack Hanley. Seems legit, right?
No, not at all.
He also told detectives that he had only dug about 5 of the graves himself. The rest were all dug by his employees.
So now he's trying to throw his employees?
Correct. He admitted to killing Robert Piest, saying that he slept with his corpse after killing him. Although he would later retract this statement in a later interview. And I have a clip of that. Do you want to hear John Wayne Gacy talk? Because it's real gross.
No, I don't. But we're gonna, aren't we?
His voice is so fucking annoying.
Everything about him is annoying, honestly.
Yeah, but when you hear his voice, you're really going to be like, ugh.
Everything annoys me lately. So this is going to yeah.
Fair enough.
It's the same thing. The contention is that I slept all night with Robert Piest. If you want to say I slept in the same house with a dead body, okay, fine, I'll buy that. But in the same room, no. And besides, the dead won't bother you. It's the living you got to worry about.
I wanted to play that clip because he says something really interesting and also like so on point that it's actually what I say to people when people ask me like how I can do ghost hunting and not be scared. Mm-hmm. I've always said it's because the dead don't scare me. Right. The living do.
1,000%.
The fact that John Wayne Gacy said that as well is haunting. In his confession to police, Gacy told them that he had fully expected to get away with all of this. He thought that he was going to reconcile with his second wife, and then that they would move away together and open a fried chicken restaurant and live happily ever after. Spoiler alert, that did not happen. He is all about the fried chicken. He's all about the fried chicken.
Or the tissy chicken.
Yeah.
If he would have kept his shit together and like played some country music, he could have had a Kenny Rogers Roasters.
He could have. I mean, he did really well managing the KFCs that he had. After Gacy's confession, detectives then took him on a fucked up field trip back to his house on West Somerdale Avenue because they wanted him to mark all the places where there were bodies other than the crawl space, because he had told them that, hey, the crawl space isn't the only place where I hid some people.
Remember that fire pit that we all cooked more chicken on and had barbecues on?
Exactly.
Surprise!
Yeah. And John was pissed at the state of his house because at this point they were just like pulling up floors, tearing it all the fuck up. And he was especially upset about the fact that police had tracked mud all throughout his house and all over his carpets, which that's a weird thing to be upset about.
Because there's not dead bodies leaking like fluid and
sir,
popping.
You murdered over 30 people. Like, I feel like the least of your concerns is your carpet. But okay. Little fun fact about the investigation of John's home is that the forensic team actually went to the local McDonald's and got French fry baskets to use to sift through the dirt for bone fragments. So think of that the next time you're eating your McDoodles. Isn't that crazy?
You told me this morning there was going to be a tie-in to McDonald's when we were eating.
Yep.
That's awesome. I mean, shitty story, but sweet tie-in.
Yeah, but I love little random facts like that. That's why when I find them, I got to throw them in the episodes because, like, I didn't know that before.
Yeah. I mean, you wouldn't think, like, oh, shit, how are we going to cipher through this dirt? Cipher, is that the right word?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sift. How are we going to sift through this dirt? Oh, I have an idea. Let's go to McDonald's. Fuck you, KFC. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yep. Despite finding the bodies of 29 young men and boys on the property, Robert Piest was nowhere to be found. It wasn't until 4 months later when Robbie's body was found floating in the Illinois River.
Oh.
Yeah. And it was such a bad winter. Like, there was a blizzard. They even had to halt pulling bodies out of the house because the weather was so bad. It was really, really cold. So that's one of the reasons why his body was so well preserved months later, because he had dumped him in the river and
it was that cold.
Yeah. On April 23rd, 1979, John Wayne Gacy was charged with 33 counts of murder, and his trial began on February 6th, 1980. He was defended by none other than Sam Amirante and Robert Mata. And as I'm sure you've guessed by now, the defense was not guilty by reason of insanity. The reason that his defense team settled on this guilty by reason of insanity plea is because, remember, it wasn't John who committed these murders, right? It was Jack Hanley, aka Bad Jack. That's what we called him, Bad Jack.
Sure.
He didn't do anything. It was Jack.
Yeah.
Psychologists for the defense testified that John suffered from paranoid schizophrenia and also multiple personality disorder, which today is now called DID, or dissociative identity disorder. The prosecution, led by Terry Sullivan, argued that Gacy had not only meticulously planned out these murders, but also took the proper steps to ensure he wasn't caught, like lying, burying the bodies, hiding evidence, etc., which indicates that he was fully aware that what he was doing was wrong, which I agree with. Covering it up to me shows that you knew that what you were doing was fucking wrong. Okay, why would you take the steps to cover up your actions if you didn't think you were doing anything wrong?
Correct.
Some of Gacy's surviving victims actually testified at the trial, and one of them was so distraught that he actually vomited in the courtroom and had to be escorted out. That's how traumatic this was for his surviving victims. Just being in the same room with him and him sitting there and them talking about what he did to them made them physically fucking ill.
That breaks my heart.
That's so sad. After less than 2 hours of deliberation, John Wayne Gacy was found guilty of all 33 murder charges, as well as sexual assault and indecent liberties with a child. And that was in regard to Robert Piest. Gacy was ultimately sentenced to death with an execution date of June 2nd, 1980. So Illinois was clearly not fucking around with John Wayne Gacy, because that they had an execution date fucking scheduled for him. But as we all know, the death penalty is not a quick sentence.
Damn it.
Even though Gacy was sentenced to death and had a date scheduled, you still have appeals that you need to exhaust in order for the sentence to actually be carried out. And this is where the argument of cost comes into play. You know, keeping someone on death row for years and all of the appeals that come with that is very fucking expensive. During his almost 15 years on death row, so 15 years is a long fucking time.
Well, yeah. So clearly it wasn't June 2nd.
Nope, because you got to exhaust all your appeals,
Yeah.
you know?
How many do you get, or does it vary by state?
So there's actually no set number of appeals, but there's like different stages. So you have a direct appeal, which is an automatic appeal to the state's highest court.
Okay.
You have a state post-conviction review. Then you have a federal habeas corpus. You have the U.S. Supreme Court. And then, I mean, it can go beyond that. You can have even further petitions.
Stupid.
Yeah. It's a lot, and it's very fucking expensive. And
It's stupid, and I hate it.
it's a waste. I mean, especially in his case.
Yeah.
You knew he wasn't going to win any of them appeals.
No.
Come on. It's a process. An expensive one.
Stupid.
So yeah, during his 15 years on death row, Gacy spent his time painting artwork. And if you want to see some of it, hit up our Facebook page, because I posted some pictures from Alcatraz East, which is a crime museum in Tennessee.
They're awesome.
I know. I love them.
Actually, the one that I'm doing now, they have a write-up on, and I've been using it a lot.
Yeah. We had a very enjoyable time there.
Yeah, their information page is incredible.
Oh, yeah,
on specific people.
They seem to really care about the museum and preserving facts and preserving, you know, artifacts and that kind of thing. I really do like them.
It's pretty cool.
But they actually display several of Gacy's paintings, and also a little train that he hand painted with the 7 dwarves on it for some reason. I don't know. I don't know.
He himself was the 8th.
There's a really cool picture that he painted that has like some of like the movie killers, like I believe it was Jason and like Frankenstein.
Don't give him a compliment.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie, his paintings are pretty good.
I think, didn't I
saw
use
them.
the self-portrait clown in the thumbnails?
Yes. That one isn't that good. That one kind of looks like a kid picture.
Yeah.
But the train with the 7 dwarves painted on it, it looks
Pretty good.
professional. Yeah, it really does.
I mean, if you're sitting in jail with nothing else to do, you better learn how to paint.
You better do something with your goddamn life. So he also did interviews, and he went back and forth proclaiming his innocence and then also claiming that he did not work alone. And I know that we talked about that in the last episode, and that is one of my hot takes about John Wayne Gacy. I do not believe that he worked alone all of the time. I think some of the times he killed on his own, but I think this was much bigger than what we actually know about. And it was actually later confirmed that an employee of Gacy's company, PDM Contractors, was an associate of a man named John David Norman, who operated a nationwide sex trafficking ring in Chicago known as the Delta Project. This was very close to Gacy.
Mm-hmm.
So
listen, after our conversation last week, you saw, I never even thought
most people don't
about that. You just take the crimes for what they are, and a lot of people don't deep dive into other things either. But like, holy shit.
I know. I really think that there was more to this. And
I wish there was someone or somewhere we could talk to like find out more.
Well, they're still looking into this because as recently as 2012, two Chicago defense attorneys, Robert Stevenson and Stephen Becker, stated that after extensively reviewing Gacy's work and travel records, that Gacy wasn't even in Chicago when two of the victims found in his crawlspace disappeared. Now, can records be falsified? Yeah, especially in the 70s. I'm not sure exactly what they looked at, but if they have receipts and shit, that's pretty compelling.
Very compelling. And like you said last week, multiple states, multiple crimes.
Yes, and there was people. There was at least one victim who said that he remembers a man in the room with Gacy who assisted in torturing him.
Yeah.
I believe him. He saw what he saw. If he saw two people, I fucking believe him.
I believe him too.
He has no reason to lie about it. I mean,
True.
I don't know. This is really interesting to me. Like, if it's a proven fact that Gacy wasn't even in the same state as these kids on the night they disappeared, that's pretty big.
It's huge. Kind of like that dildo he had.
Ugh, yeah. But don't get me wrong. He's still a piece of shit. But if other people were involved in this, then they need to be brought to justice as well.
1000%.
If he wasn't in the area when these kids were known to have gone missing and be murdered, but they still ended up in his crawl space, did somebody else have access to his house and did they bury them?
Well, that's like some P. Diddy shit. Bringing across state lines and torturing and prostitution even. Like, that's a lot.
Here's another point I want to bring up, though. When John Wayne Gacy was originally interrogated and he went back to his home with the investigative team to mark where the bodies were, he actually, and you can see this online, he drew a diagram of all of the bodies in the crawl space, and he knew exactly where every one of them was buried. So let's play devil's advocate here and say that he didn't murder those two people. Okay. He still knew where they were. So, like, did he come home and help bury them? Or did someone bury them and then tell John where they were? How did he know?
They were on his property.
Yeah.
I guarantee you he was involved some way, somehow, even if, like...
He didn't do the actual killing or the actual kidnapping.
Or maybe he paid people to bring him kids to kill or to torture.
Who even fucking knows?
That's what I mean, like crossing state lines and shit. Like, kidnapping, bringing them over... Here, John, give me $1,000. Like,
that's what I'm saying. I really think that this was like part of a ring.
It had to be.
Also, during his time on death row, and I didn't know this, but John was actually stabbed by Henry Brisbane, who is also known as the I-57 killer. And I thought that was interesting. A serial killer stabbed by a serial killer. Like, honey, the girls are fighting.
Let them have it out. They should have just let them stab each other to death and get it over with and save us all money.
Yeah, but John Wayne Gacy, he survived that attack.
Probably because he's shaped like a chicken.
At the age of 52, John Wayne Gacy was executed via lethal injection on May 10th, 1994.
That's too kind for him.
At Stateville Correctional Center in Illinois. You want to guess what his final meal was?
I mean...
a bucket of KFC.
Of course it was.
But that wasn't all. He also had fried shrimp, French fries.
Okay.
Some strawberries because he needed something fresh and healthy to balance it all out.
Yeah. Because he wasn't going to shit his pants in 2 seconds.
And a Diet Coke, because you got to watch those cows. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Definitely don't have the full sugar.
Fun fact about his execution is that it was botched.
Good.
They originally tried to administer the lethal injection, but the IV got clogged and they had to redo it.
Probably from all of the saturated fat in his blood.
Maybe.
God, I feel like such an asshole fat shaming. But like...
He deserves it. He's okay. A fucker. They said that it took about 20 minutes to complete his execution. And there was actually like changes made after that because it was botched. There's a rumor that started that John Wayne Gacy's final words were, "Kiss my ass." But this has actually been debunked by the presiding prosecutor, who stated that this was never said. Not sure how that information got put out there, but I know we all want to believe that he was like, "Kiss my ass." But that didn't happen, unfortunately. It's just part of the
pretend.
Yeah, it's just part of the John Wayne Gacy lore for whatever reason. Gacy's brain was removed and his remains were cremated. The whereabouts of his remains are unknown to this day, but it's said that his brain is actually in the possession of one of the psychologists that worked on the case. Hopefully they did testing on it. I don't know. I couldn't find anything.
Okay. I'd like to see that.
I think it's so cool that someone just has John Wayne Gacy's brain in like what are those things called? A jar with formaldehyde. What the fuck?
Yeah.
The home at 8213 West Somerdale Avenue was demolished in 1979, mainly because it was just completely ripped the fuck apart and destroyed. Like they took floorboards out. It was just fucked.
They had to.
Yeah. It wasn't really salvageable, but also like who the fuck would ever want to live there if it was salvageable?
Listen, the minute they got mud on the floor, it was not salvageable.
Right. God forbid they tracked mud on the carpet.
Dicks.
And I have to think like it's basically a biohazard at that point, right? Can you ever really like clean it to a point where it wouldn't be a biohazard?
No, he had 27 bodies. Whether or not you stuff a sock in an orifice, the bodies are still going to have, what is that called?
They're still decomposing.
They're still decomposing. What's it called when the skin like falls off?
Slippage? Skin
slippage.
Yeah.
They're going to have, I mean, that's not just in water. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
They're still going to have like slippage, which then exposes more fluid. Like, I can't.
You have bacteria.
Gross.
You have, the vermin that would have been attracted to it because, and the forensic team did say that there were worms down there eating. They're still discovering the identities of some of the unnamed victims. 21-year-old Francis Wayne Alexander was identified through DNA testing as recently as 2021.
Wow.
Which was only like 5 years ago.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But awesome.
I know. But sadly, as of today, there are still 5 victims that remain unidentified, which is so fucking sad.
That breaks my heart.
I know.
Have they looked into potentially other states other than...
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Yeah. All of the DNA and everything has been uploaded into a database and they are still looking. They are. They're trying to find out who they are. Hopefully one day. 4 of the unidentified bodies were buried in the crawlspace, ages ranging from 15 to 30, and the 5th unidentified victim was buried in John's backyard and is estimated to be between the age of 14 and 18. And I'm going to end this series with a direct quote from John Wayne Gacy himself that demonstrates what kind of person he is better than I ever could.
Okay.
Hey, I got news for you. I killed 33 times. You're only going to kill me once. Gacy outsmarted him again.
He 100% had COPD.
Fucking...
So he basically said, I killed 33 people.
I killed 33 people, but you're only going to kill me once. Gacy outsmarted him again.
He
and then laughed.
I fucking hate this guy. Like, I already hated him, but I hate him even more.
So incredibly vile. Again, I've said this before, but please go on Peacock and watch the interviews with John Wayne Gacy himself sitting there talking. It will make your stomach turn how gross he is. He's so, everything about him is so fucking disgusting.
Don't eat
his
first.
Aura, the way he looks, his voice, just how he carries himself, everything about him just makes me want to throw up. But yeah, now we're done with John Wayne Gacy now. Yay! I feel like I should pop a bottle of Champs or something because
I'm gonna pop my Starbies in my mouth and finish it. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, this was a lot.
It was a lot. I enjoyed it though. Like you gave us a lot of information that not only I did not know, but I'm sure other listeners did not either.
And myself, I learned some things.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is, I love that. That's one of the reasons why I like doing this, is because I'm generally fascinated by this stuff for whatever reason, because there's something wrong with me, but you're here too, so there's something wrong with you.
That's fair. We all knew that. I own it.
Yeah, it is what it is. It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine. Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. Everything's okay.
It's great.
Everything is stupid.
Everything is stupid all the time.
Yeah. We have gotten quite a few requests for an alien story. So that,
you know, we did an alien one already, right?
we did, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just
Yeah, we did. But people are asking for more alien stuff. So I am working on an episode about the abduction that inspired the movie Fire in the Sky.
I'm excited for this.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that, but watch it. That one scene where he like wakes up in like where it looks like there's like goo.
Yeah.
That scene is etched in my mind forever.
Gross.
That movie was so disturbing to me. Mm-hmm. Mainly because, like, especially as a kid when I watched it, I was like, could this actually happen? Because if so, oh my God. It made me afraid of aliens. Yeah.
Yeah. I've never been like afraid of aliens, but
I am. If they be doing like fucking experiments and shit on people, that's scary.
I mean, they're trying to figure out what the fuck we are.
Can you get my consent first? Please and thank you.
I don't care.
That makes them awful. That's fucked up.
I agree. However, I am super stoked because we already know I fucking love aliens. Mm-hmm. I am working on one that I've been working on for a while. Mm-hmm. I just have to watch one more documentary to make sure I have all of the shit for it.
Yeah.
And then it will be prepared.
Well, it's fine. Take your time because next week we're going to do an alien one because we need a palate cleanser, and yours is about murder. So yeah, we're gonna do a palate cleanser.
And also, a lot of you guys seem to really like the help my brain.
The Penhurst one?
Penhurst.
Oh yeah, that was like one of our most popular ones.
So I would like to do a couple more like paranormal-y ones.
Yeah, we've got some stuff in the works because, you know, as we said in our first episode of 2026, our collective New Year's resolution is to stop being lazy. So if I put this out there, it has to happen.
Okay.
What I want to do, and I've been talking with Alicia about this, is I want to do a day trip to Gettysburg, and I want to go on the battlefield and do some EVPs, an EVP session. And I also, and this is very local, so I mean, anyone who's not in the state of Delaware, and even if you are in the state of Delaware, you might not know about this, but there is a place called Maggie's Bridge that is allegedly haunted by the spirit of a woman who, I don't know, died. I have to do more research.
Did she drown her kids? Something.
I honestly don't know.
I'll look it up.
I don't know. But I want to do an episode on that. And I think that'll be fun because you and I don't know anything about that. And a lot of people have reached out to me and been like, dude, you have to go to Maggie's Bridge. Like, I've heard stuff there. I know other people have heard stuff there. So I want to do a road trip to Maggie's Bridge at night. And I'm saying at night because obviously it's a road. So you're going to get noise contamination and stuff. A lot of people are like, well, why do you have to ghost hunt at night? Like, is it so it's more scary? No, it's so there's less contamination.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, I've gotten EVPs in broad fucking daylight.
Honestly, I think I get more when it's light out. And if there's no contamination.
Yeah. We got an EVP when we were getting tattoos at 10 in the morning?
Also with the paranormal stuff, I have been working on, and you already know this, a Amazon affiliate link list.
Yep.
And we are gathering everything that we have in our ghost hunting bags collectively. And hopefully if anybody out there wants to become a ghost hunter, we can kind of give you the basics, the step ups, the absolutely, if you have endless money, like what to get, what to buy.
Yeah.
And all the way down to the snacks that we have in our bags typically when we go on a ghost hunt. So,
yep.
Boom. Hopefully that'll help you guys. And anything you buy off of that helps the podcast a lot. So,
well, people have asked too, like, what, if I wanted to start ghost hunting, what should I get? So,
and it's as easy as a mini mag flashlight.
Yeah. Well, and a recorder. You have to have a recorder.
Well, yeah. But you can use your phone for that now.
True.
We've got an EVP on our phone. It's crazy.
That's true. Yeah.
Tiny amount of stuff that you need to become a ghost hunter.
Yeah, it's not hard. That's why, like, when I watch these shows and they make it seem like it's so elite. No, it's fucking not.
No.
Get the fuck out of here and get over yourself.
You need a cell phone and a flashlight, bitch.
Yeah, and like ghost hunting groups, like acting like they're all like high and mighty. Like,
we have this and this.
Literally anyone can get that. So.
Ooh.
Have a seat and shut the fuck up.
Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you and goodbye.
Okay, so Maggie's Bridge, back to this. Sorry, we digressed. It's known for its urban legend involving the ghost of a decapitated woman.
Oh, shit.
Named Maggie Bloxam.
Okay, well, we're going to look into that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Boom.
I want to go to Maggie's Bridge. Also, there is a Monster Mania convention coming up.
Whoop, whoop.
In, what is it, Cherry Hill?
Somewhere in New
Cherry
Jersey.
Hill, New Jersey. We're going to make an appearance there.
Somewhere in the dirty Jersey.
Yeah, we are. So if anyone's in the area, you want to be walking around, we're going to be there with our mics. We're going to be talking to people. My man Skeet just got announced.
She's so excited about this. I mean, I'm
so
too,
excited
but
to meet
she's more
Skeet.
excited.
Yeah, like, he was my crush in Scream.
My crush is dead, damn it.
Yeah. R.I.P. Val Kilmer.
Okay, I'm over it, sorry.
But you can meet Skeet with me.
I plan to.
I'm going to give him a podcast sticker. He's probably going to throw it in the trash and not give any ounce of a fuck, but I'm going to give it to him.
Yeah.
Oh.
Why?
Did you hear? That was my dog in the background, like,
what do you think? You think we should give him multiple stickers?
We thought about like renting a table there and having a table space, but then we were like, we would have to sit there all day, and we would rather just walk around and talk to people. And I think we're gonna give out little gift bags. So yeah, if you're in the area, if we have any Jersey fans, or like, even if you're in PA, Delaware, whatever, New York, Australia, we'll be walking around. What date is that? Let me look it up. So yeah, it's March 6th through 8th in Cherry Hill, New Jersey.
We will definitely be there. Maybe the evening of the 6th and the 7th.
We're definitely going to be there the 7th on Saturday.
Boom.
We're going to try to do Friday night as well. Yeah. Just because I think that would be a fun little getaway.
And it's so close.
So close, yeah. But I'm excited. Yeah, regardless, we're definitely going to be there that Saturday. So
yay.
Yeah. And we're not trying to like interview like celebrities and stuff. Like, I just want to walk around and talk to normal people and be like, you guys like true crime? Do you guys like weird spooky stuff? I don't know.
Do you like Christina's vampire heel shoes? Follow us.
Vampire heel shoes.
I mean, that's kind of what they are, right?
I think they're more like shark bite shoes.
Do you like Christina's shark bite shoes? They were actually really cool. I dissed them at first, but I love them.
She did. She said, those are so ugly that I kind of like them. So I guess that's a compliment. They're these high black leather boots, and the heels are a set of, it looks like shark teeth.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah. So when you walk around, it looks like there's like just a big like mouth of teeth on my heel.
And it's like open.
It's open.
It's crazy.
They're comfortable too, believe it or not.
I'm just jealous because I can't wear heels because I have shitty knees.
You know what? I bought them on Amazon. We can do an affiliate link.
We can.
If you would like to look like me. Just kidding. No one wants to look like me.
Everyone wants to look like you.
But if you like really cool, weird shoes like I do, I love weird stuff. And I like having things that not many people have. Like, it's not like every day you see someone walking down the street with teeth on their heels. So yeah, we'll do a link for those if you guys want.
And I still have to link my octopus butter dish.
Oh yeah, your octopus butter dish.
I mean, not as cool as the shoes, but
you know what we should do? We should do Alicia's favorite items and Christina's favorite items.
Okay.
And just like I could put like my Nespresso machine on there because I cannot live without that shit now.
Listen,
I learned how to make lattes. It is fucking life changing.
Mm-hmm. I have the Starbucks pods.
Mm-hmm.
Every like month I get a box of them delivered. They're expensive though.
They're so expensive, but I've found that it replaces me going to Starbucks because
100%.
I can make my own latte now.
Yep.
So like Alicia brought me a Starbucks. This is like my first Starbucks that I've had since getting the Nespresso machine for Christmas. So it is saving me money, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So
Thanks, Daddy T.
yeah. And I'm telling you, if you like lattes, learn how to make a latte
It's
with
not
the
hard.
espresso machine.
It's not hard.
It's not. I have it like down to a science now. It's to the point where Daddy T comes over and he's like, he used to come over with a Starbucks. Okay, now he comes in, no Starbucks, and he's like, "Can you make me a latte?"
It's your
So he's
job
saving
now.
money too.
Yeah.
But that makes me feel good because my lattes are so good that he's bypassing Starbucks, which is on the way, and asking me to make him a latte.
That's awesome.
I should be a barista.
And-
Barista?
Barista.
Barista.
You know you can get the syrups on Amazon too.
Yes.
And even, you know who has them? Often fairly cheap, and you can sometimes find them in the clearance.
Like
It's
Home Goods and TJ Maxx? Yeah.
Yep. Marshalls, those kind of stores.
Yup. Mm-hmm. Yup.
I did just buy some Everyday Dose too. I want to try that.
What is that?
It's coffee, but it's also got
Coffee. It's coffee.
Did I say it like that?
You did.
Jesus Christ.
I love it. It's coffee.
It's
That's
coffee.
how us East Coasters say it. It's coffee.
Did I say that?
You did.
It's coffee. Coffee. How do you say it now? Oh my God. Hold on. It's coffee.
coffee.
God damn it. Lord forgive me. It's coffee.
That's how we say it around here. Coffee.
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 Coffee?
Yeah. You know what?
Am I saying it wrong? Like scheme?
Get on Google.
Okay.
Get on Google and look up the pronunciation of coffee. See, that's how I say it. Coffee.
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 Did I not say it right?
Coffee.
Hold on. How?
No, you said it the East Coast way.
I can totally talk like a New Yorker if I need to, just like this.
Well, you used to live in New York for a little bit.
I did.
So it checks out.
How do you pronounce
As you look this up, I'm going to take a sip of my coffee.
Coffee,
coffee?
Coffee.
coffee,
Coffee.
coffee,
Coffee. Right?
Yeah, but we say coffee.
That's what she's saying.
Coffee. She says
Oh.
coffee. We say coffee.
That's
That's the
so we're
problem.
like CAW.
Yes.
FEE. And she's
Coffee.
KAA. Coffee.
Coffee.
That's like,
That sounds like if you're from Boston.
I was going to say,
right?
that's like some upper East Coast shit.
Coffee.
Oh, wait. Hold on. British pronunciation.
Ooh.
Coffee. Kofi.
coffee,
I shall now
I love that.
be calling coffee. Kofi. Kofi. KOFEE.
coffee.
Kofi.
I have a question for any British listeners. Do you guys actually drink a lot of coffee, or is it more tea?
No, it's
right?
tea. 1,000%.
Do they
tea.
even drink coffee over
Yeah.
there?
They like coffee, but tea is more their like
Okay.
morning. They have tea with milk in it. Like
Yeah.
our lattes, they make with tea.
Okay.
They still drink coffee,
Yeah. Yeah.
but then they have their
Interesting.
pinkies up British tea. My mom used to still have tea time.
I love that.
Do you like a biscuit with your tea? Yes.
My daughter had a little tea party with her friend last week, and I made like cucumber sandwiches the British way because I looked it up and they were like,
With the cream cheese. Cheams creams.
no, they make it with butter.
What?
I thought it was cream cheese, but they say like the traditional English way.
There's no way.
Look it up.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I'm not going to look it up. I trust
I
you
did.
with all my heart.
I'm
but
dead ass serious. I looked it up and it said the traditional way is
I
butter.
don't know how I feel about that.
It was good.
Anything with butter is good.
Yeah.
Why do you think I got a butter
So
dish?
I I gave them, I made, and I cut them up all little and everything, cut the crust off and all that. But I gave them a cream cheese one and a butter one, and they loved the butter one. They hated the cream cheese one.
Did you put dill in it?
No, because if I put dill in it, they weren't going to eat it.
That's fair.
Especially my daughter. She'll be like, what is this spice that I don't understand? Or
tastes like pickles.
Yeah. Like she would not be about that life. But
so I did walk in and thought her cat had brown stamped her chair, but it was just chocolate from that tea party.
Yeah, there's stains on my chair. But that, you know what? I left them and I didn't clean them because I have new
Covers?
chair covers.
Nice.
So
You can wash these anyway.
yeah, but these are like years old and they're starting to get frayed.
They frayed?
Frayed.
Did you just say a word? Frayed?
Frayed.
People are going to be like, Jesus Christ, I'm turning you off.
What?
No, you said it right.
I said it right?
Frayed.
Frayed. Yeah.
Oh my God, can we even talk?
No.
Why do we have a podcast? How is this legal?
I don't know. Stay tuned next week for an alien story. And also, I'm going to let you smell those perfumes. The one that smells like the moon and one that smells like outer space.
Finally!
Yeah. Finally, it has happened to me right in front of my face, and I just cannot hide it.
Is it hide it or deny it?
It's both.
Good, then we nailed it.
Yeah, it's
What do you
both.
think?
We just picked different verses. So, anywho, yeah, thanks for listening. We'll see you next Tuesday.
Please, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God.
Please don't be one.
Bye.
Bye, love you, mean it. Fuck you, Brandon.